This is Afrikan Martial Arts, where we study African martial arts, also known as Alkebulan, Montu, in order to restore our black cultural identity before slavery and colonialism. Guys, in this video, we're talking about how to utilize the Ginga from a fighting stance and the practicality of learning how to utilize Ginga while fighting or sparring. And so a lot of folks think, okay, well, you're not really going to use Ginga, and sometimes, you know, yeah, you may not use it in every situation, okay? But I have used Ginga in sparring. There's video of me online on our YouTube channel of me doing the Ginga in sparring. And so there's applications for it, and we're gonna talk about those applications today. So most people think about Ginga as being from this neutral posture, right? One foot goes back, then you switch, the other foot goes back, and they think about this kind of pattern. But you don't have to do Ginga from this neutral stance, right? This neutral posture, you can do it from a fighting stance, whether you're southpaw or orthodox. But I typically fight southpaw, I'm more comfortable southpaw. So let's talk about it for a little bit. So this 4-point Ginga, from my fighting stance, this actually is the same in terms of Ginga as the neutral posture, right? If I'm neutral, okay, it becomes my Ginga, right? This becomes my Ginga from this neutral posture. But I'm gonna do a similar kind of movement here from this fighting posture. So with my lead leg, my front leg is gonna move back. So let's cover this first, right? So first movement is here. Second movement, okay, I may show you from this angle here just because I have more room. So first movement, this leg goes back. Second movement, this leg is actually going to go back as well. So both feet are going back, right? Just like your neutral Ginga. Back, forward, back, forward. Same thing's happening here. This one goes back, then forward, back, then forward. Back, then forward, back, then forward. Difference is the angle. So on my front foot, I'm going to move my front foot back, but it's going back at an angle. In other words, it's not going directly south. Right? This is south, this is north, okay? It's not going necessarily directly east, but it's going to go in a southeast direction. If I'm southpaw, if my right leg is forward, it's going to go back at an angle, right? So notice the line, right? Notice the square. I'm in this square. It's going to move to the square back here, right? Here. It's not going across, right? That's lateral. It's not going here, but it's going back at an angle. So that's the first movement, right? Here and here. Second movement is going to come a little bit closer. You can see here. Second move is my back foot. My back foot will actually go just directly back, right? So that's not going to go at an angle. It's not going to go at an angle here. Because if it goes at an angle, what happens is I end up crossing my feet if I come to an angle. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to cross my feet. Not going to be here. It's just going directly back. So I'm going to maintain my heel-toe alignment, front toe, back heel, because that gives me maximum balance side to side. And I'm just going to take that foot back. Now, let's cover the applications of both of these. So, just starting here with the front leg. When my front leg goes back at an angle, here, this has multiple uses, and I use this all the time, to be honest with you, in sparring. The first use and application of this is moving your head off the line. So, we know from boxing, you can move your head by slipping, right? You can slip a punch. You can slip a punch. However, you know, slipping involves level shifting. What that means is that you're not just moving your head, but you're typically bending your knees and lowering your head down a little bit. You're coming a little bit lower than you normally would be. Now, what's nice about this, by moving your front foot back, is that naturally is going to give you a lower center of gravity, because by taking this foot back, you are naturally sinking lower. Because, again, your stance is becoming wider. You got a wider base. Just like if I have a fighting stance, if I have a wider base here, I'm naturally going to be a little bit lower than if my feet are close. I'm going to be a lot taller. Simple principle, okay? So I'm moving here, which is going to sink me down a little bit. At the same time that my leg is moving out, my head, I can keep my head here on this line of attack, right? If I wanted to, okay? I can keep it there and, you know, whatever it is that I'm doing, right? But typically, when I utilize this, I'm moving my head off that line. So I'm slipping in the process of moving this front foot. I'm slipping here. So that's the first application, right? Is utilizing the slip. I might be hitting here. I might be throwing a hook if I successfully slip, but I want to get my head off that line of attack. So that's number one. Number two is, sometimes I'm utilizing this in addition to slipping, moving my head. I'm also defending against low line attacks, meaning leg kicks or single leg takedowns. I typically spar a lot of Muay Thai, MMA kind of guys, and so they're always targeting the low leg kicks or the single leg takedown. And so what helps is that if I know they're targeting lead leg, I'm just going to move it out of the way. Now, because I'm going back and at an angle, my lead leg is moving further away from the opponent, right? My lead leg is moving further away from the opponent here. As I'm moving my head off the line, it's coming back behind that line. So it gets my foot, my leg, a little bit further away from his leg kick or his takedown. Not saying he's gonna stop, right? A good wrestler, even if you move your leg, he's gonna keep going. He's not just gonna give up and say, oh, well, he moved his leg, so I guess I can't, take him down. No, he's gonna keep shooting until he can get you down, right? So be mindful. Don't just do this like, ha, I got you. You still have to move. You probably still have to sprawl and do those kind of things. Similarly with a leg kick, right? Just because you move your leg, he may anticipate that next, right? And he may kick a little bit deeper and still kick you in the leg. So be mindful. And for self-defense wise, protect the groin. So keep that in mind too. So a lot of times when I'm doing this, I'm turning and rotating my hip at the same time. I'm not just stepping out and keeping the groin open like this, right? So I am trying to close that line a little bit. There's no way to fully protect the groin. Even from here, you can get kicked in the groin, right? Anyway, so that's the main reason I'm doing this. And thirdly, right, not just moving the head, not just moving the leg, but this shifts my body weight. Because I'm moving my head and my body weight being your torso. Most of my body weight now, my torso is over my rear leg, what was my back leg. This is where my body weight is. As a result of that, it makes it easier to keep going in this direction. So a lot of times when I'm utilizing head movement and slipping really works well if it doesn't work on reaction as well. What I mean by that is that if you guys are if you're punching at me and I'm trying to rely on my vision to be able to see your punch, determine that it's a straight punch, it's not a hook, it's not an uppercut, it's not some kind of weird, wacky, hammer fist or something like that, determine what it is. My brain sees it, determines it, and then, interprets that, then has to decide on which way to slip or to slip at all, and then send a signal to the rest of my body to be able to move. That takes time. The visual reaction is super slow, right? But it is faster if, instead of relying on reaction, seeing the punch, it is faster if you already know your opponent's going to punch. And so when I do this, I already know where he's going to go next because my head is a big target right here. My head's a big target. Now I'm moving my body back a little bit. And so, but this is the high value target right here is the head. So I know he's going to come to the head next, even if I slipped off the first line. So because I know that, I'm going to keep moving, especially since my body weight is already over here. I'm already pre-positioned to continue going in this direction because this is where most of my body weight is. It's over here. So I'm going to utilize my sweep step and move at this angle. And then hopefully, if I time that well, I can time that with his attack and move off the line of his attack, right? So again, I slip here, boom, and then I'm moving, right? I'm moving. So let's say just because I don't want to run into the wall, if he threw his rear punch, maybe I'm successfully slipping and maybe he's throwing the hook or he's throwing straight off the lead and I'm going to move this way and come here, right? So again, it's just that initial slip here and then bringing this back foot, it's going to sweep up and it's going to bring me here in range just to come at an angle. So those are the main three reasons I move this lead leg. Now, let's talk about the rear foot. So we're basically here, back and at the angle, and then the rear foot is just going straight back. It's just going straight south. It's just going straight back. So it's back. The lead foot goes back at an angle, okay? Boom, boom. This is our Ginga from our fighting position. You don't have to alternate it like this. You can step back, forward. You can do this, right? You can do this, okay? All right? It doesn't have to be in a pattern, okay? Can be, right? But it doesn't have to be, right? All right, and then you can switch, right? You can move, okay? And you can come back here, right? And so you can mix it up, is my point. Anyway, so with the rear leg is going to move back. Now, when the rear leg, I'm going to face this way first. When the rear leg goes back, instead of me slipping this way like I did with the lead foot, I'm actually going to go the other way. So that's the application of that. So this moving back, again, same idea. It lowers my level, lowers me down, just naturally. I'm not even slipping, right? It naturally brings my head down. Then I'm going to add the slip with it, right? Now, when I do this and I add the slip with it, notice that also sends my body weight to this side. And guess what that does? Makes it easier for me to go to this direction. Now, I can go there by pivoting, rotating here, okay? Which is fine, because you might utilize this and do a check hook here. Or you might come here, right, when I take that step back, and I might utilize that sweep step. Boom. And that's going to switch me now into orthodox where I was southpaw. So super simple, okay? Moving here and then coming here, right? This is all Ginga, okay? This is Ginga. This is African martial art, capoeira, right? We understand capoeira came from Central West Africa, okay, to Brazil, and in various forms, not just capoeira, but various forms, damier, ngolo, right, and various other similar arts, okay, throughout the diaspora, throughout the Caribbean. So this is not specific to Yobè Ijikadi, to our form of Alkebulan Montu or Afrikan martial arts, but we're just showing you how to utilize it. That's all we're doing. We're just trying to decode what's already in there, okay? So you can still do this, right? But all I'm saying is you can do it from here too, okay? Right? And then you don't have to make it a pattern, right? So sometimes I'm gonna step forward with it, then back, forward, back, side, forward, back, forward, right? Slide, switch, right? Okay, so just mix it up, guys. Have fun with it. Figure out different ways you can move your feet. Think about the Asili, our compass, northeast, southwest, different angles and different cardinal directions. And again, just the diagonals as well in which you can move. And I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you've seen this before or have thought about this. Give me your thoughts. We'll see you in the next lesson. Keep in mind, we are training live on Zoom every Wednesday from 9 p.m. Eastern Time to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. You can sign up for that at AfrikanMartialArts.com. It is a training space and a healing space for people of African descent to come heal from generational trauma, to heal and to train together and to collectively, help one another. So it's just meant to be a safe space for that healing and that training process to happen. So we'll see you guys in the next lesson. Thanks for tuning in.
The purpose of our organization is to start right here in Harlem, which has the largest concentration of people of African descent that exists anywhere on this earth. There are more Africans here in Harlem than exist in any city on the African continent, because that's what you and I are, Africans.